From the Routh's criterion method, you have understood that how a characteristic equation roots play an important role to find stability. And the controller gain, if changes, then the roots also will change. But in Routh's criteria, you only know how to find the stability. But in root locus method, which is a graphical method, this gives an convenience to show in a graphical manner how the variation of k from 0 to infinity, the controller gain, varies the roots of characteristic equation and stability. And this gives the one picture where you can find the complete analysis of variation of Kc with respect to 0 to infinity. Now coming to the characteristic equation, that is 1 plus transfer loop function open loop is equal to 0. This is my characteristic equation as I have discussed in my previous video of Routh's criteria. Now let me take the open loop transfer function be k into s plus z1 by s plus p1 into s plus p2. Now substituting here 1 plus of this open loop transfer function is equal to 0. As I told you, the roots of characteristic equation depends on controller gain. Suppose if my controller gain is 0, then roots are open loop poles. Substitute the k value here 0, then s plus p1 into s plus p2 will be 0, which means the roots are minus p1 and minus p2. These are called open loop poles. And similarly, when kc is equal to infinity, then roots are open loop zeros. Substituting kc equal to infinity, then my s plus z1 will be 0, then the roots will be minus z1. You can simply remember that the numerator roots are zeros and the denominator roots are poles. After finding this, I will name n and m, which is number of poles. N here in this case it will be 2, and m number of zeros, that is 1. These are the common terminologies we will be using here. Then the path that a root loci follows in this graph, the path in this way or in this manner, whatever path my root locus is following, that will be taken from 0 to infinity of the value kc. The path taken by roots of characteristic equation when k tends from 0 to infinity is called root loci, or you can simply term it as a branch. Now coming to the rules for root locus method, the first point it tells is root locus is symmetrical to real axis. That means if I take a graph, it is a real axis and an imaginary axis, then the root locus, suppose if it is in this real axis, then whatever I am getting, it will be symmetrical to the real axis. Whatever graph that ranges from 0 to infinity of Kc, the characteristic equations, this graph is symmetrical if you see. Then the second rule is each root loci originates from k is equal to 0 and terminates at k equal to infinity. In a simple term, this root loci starts from the poles. K equal to 0 means poles, right? That I have discussed, and ends at zeros. The path will be from pole to 0. This root loci. Then my third rule will be, now after considering a test point means just a random value in the real axis. If the test point having odd number of zeros plus poles, then they are part of root loci. If you want to get a clear understanding on this, if I am taking a real axis and an imaginary axis, and let me take 1, 2, 3, these are my poles. Then here you can see, consider test point having odd number of zeros and poles at right side, then they are part of root loci. Now if I take a test point here, let me take some test point here. From here, if you see towards the right side, you can find only one pole, which is an odd number. So from this point to this point, let me take it as a dashed point, this comes under my root loci. Now if I take a test point at this point, you can see there are two number of poles, which means that in even number this does not come under root loci. Now considering the test point here, then you can see the total poles 1, 2 and 3 towards the right side, an odd number, which means that from this pole towards the infinity comes under root loci. In this way, this rule 3 applies. After remembering these 3 rules, considering the graphical representation for root locus method, I will tell you a step-by-step procedure how to follow. The first step, you need to locate zeros and poles. Suppose if I am taking an imaginary and real axis like this, then I need to mention the poles and zeros. Let me take the poles as X symbol and zeros as O. In this way, if you represent here, let me take some random poles like this, then these are my poles and it is my 0. In this way, you need to first represent in the graphical representation. After locating this poles and zeros, then my step 2 is to find root locus on real axis. Which means if I am taking this is a 0 and these are my 2 poles. If I take a test point here, then towards right side I can see only one pole, there are no zeros, so total it's an odd number. From this 0 to this pole, this is a part of my root loci. Similarly, if I take a test point here, there is an even number of zeros and poles, this is not a root loci. In this way, you need to find the root locus on real axis, and the total root loci will be is equal to n. that means number of poles. Now step 3, I need to find an asymptote of root locus branches. And centroid. This is my step 3 where I need to find asymptote. An asymptote, I will just give a basic terminology of asymptote, which means that line that curve approaches, the real curve approaches as it heads towards infinity. When you see, suppose these are my two asymptotes, then my curve approaches towards the asymptote when it is heading towards infinity. This is how an asymptote is defined. Now fourth step. Okay, before going to step 4, I missed a centroid here. To find the centroid, my equation will be sigma is equal to sum of number of poles. Suppose if there are two poles n1 and n2, then sum of n1 plus n2, and if there is 1 0, then minus of sum of zeros, that is z1, divided by n minus m will be my centroid. And my asymptote angle, I need to find an angle such that to draw the asymptote, that angle will be equal to 180 into 2q plus 1 by n minus m, where q is equal to 0, 1, 2, so on, n minus m minus 1. This will be my asymptotic angle, and this is the centroid from where I need to draw my asymptote. Now coming to the fourth point, I need to find breakaway and break-in point. Suppose if I take this as a part of my root locus, then a breakaway occurs between two poles and a break-in occurs between two zeros. Let me take these as two poles, which means that my breakaway in this root locus occurs like this. Let me take an example like this. This is how my root locus will vary. There is a breakaway between two poles and there is a break in between two zeros. To find this point from where there is a breakaway in this root locus, then I need to find dk by ds and substitute the value to 0 from the characteristic equation, that is 1 plus g open loop of s is equal to 0. In this I'll just substitute this dk by ds is equal to 0 after differentiating the transfer function. Then my fifth step is, if there is any complex pole, there is complex pole, that is if I am having these two, then you can tell as a complex pole, then I need to find an angle of departure. Angle of departure. I have told you that the root loci always originates from poles. So from this pole, how this angle the root loci will follow. Suppose if it is like this, this is my asymptote, then the angle of departure towards the asymptote I need to find for a complex pole, which will be equal to 180 minus sum of angles from poles plus sum of angles from zeros. So to explain it very simple manner, I will take a real part and an imaginary axis. If I take this as my two complex poles, let me take as A. To find for this point the angle of departure, let me take this as other pole. Then I need to find the sum of angles from the poles. This is one pole. Then how the angle is there between this point and this point, and I need to find the angle between these two. And suppose if I take one more pole here, I need to find this angle. This will be my theta 1, this will be my theta 2, and this will be my theta 3. From here you can see the angle of departure will be 1 minus theta 1 plus theta 2 plus theta 3, where here the angle of poles are 0. This is how you can find the departure. Suppose if I am having a complex 0, in this, if I take a complex 0, then I will have angle of arrival. This angle of arrival will be theta A is equal to 180 minus the same sum of angles from zeros plus sum of angles from poles. This will be my angle of arrival because the zeros terminates. This root locus always terminates at zeros. This is my step 5. Only if you have any complex pole or 0, then only this step 5 is applicable. Now coming to my step 6. There is no place, I will just adjust it here. My step 6 is to find the point of intersection of root locus with imaginary axis. Suppose this is my curve of different roots and different values of Kc. Then the point of intersection of this root locus with the imaginary axis, you need to find where this root locus is touching the imaginary axis. That you can find either by Routh's criteria or by direct substitution method, where S is equal to I omega. If you substitute S is equal to I omega in this equation, you can find the value of omega. This omega will be the point lying on this imaginary axis. This is my step 6. If I take an example and explain you each and every step, you can understand very clearly. Now let me take an example so that you can get a better understanding on a root locus diagram. Let my open loop transfer function is equal to 4 Kc by S plus 1, S plus 2 and S plus 3. So this is my root locus diagram with a real axis, and this is an imaginary axis. Now first step I told you to identify poles and zeros. From the open loop transfer function, my poles will be the denominator roots, that will be minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. Then my number of poles are 3. Now identifying zeros which are nil because there are no roots in the numerator. So my number of zeros are 0. Next point, you need to locate these poles and zeros in this graphical representation. Minus 1, minus 2 and minus 3. Now I have identified the poles by taking the mark X. Now second step is to find the root locus of real axis. Root locus I need to find. If I take a test point here, and if I see towards right side, I can see only one pole, which means that it's an odd number. Then from point -1 to -2, this comes under root loci. And the second one, if I take a test point here and if I see, then I can find the number of poles and zeros summation, which is 1 and 2, total 2, which is an even number. Then this doesn't come under root loci. So I made a dashed representation that it doesn't come under root loci. Now coming to a test point after this pole, and I can see towards right side that total 3 poles are available, which is an odd number. That means from -3 to infinity, the root locus exists. On the real axis, I have found the root loci. My step 2 is completed. And coming to my step 3, I need to find the asymptotic angle, which I have told you 180 into 2q plus 1 by n minus m, where q ranges from 0, 1, 2, so on, n minus m minus 1. From here n is 3, m is 0 and minus 1, which is equal to 2. So q ranges from 0 to 2. Substituting the values of n and m here, it will be 3 minus 0. 360 will be 180, 60 of 2q plus 1. Now my asymptotic angles by substituting q equal to 0 will be 60 degrees. Q equal to 1 will give me 180 degrees and q equal to 2 will give me 300 degrees, which is minus 60 degrees. Now my second part in this third step is to find the centroid from where the asymptotic angle starts. The centroid will be equal to the values of poles summation, that will be -1, -2, -3, minus of sum of zeros are not the 0, total divided by n will be 3 minus 0, which will be -2. This is my centroid. And my fourth step is to find breakaway or break-in points. Now as you can see, there are 2 poles, so there will be a breakaway existing between 2 poles. I need to find a breakaway. That means dk by ds is equal to 0. My characteristic equation from this open loop transfer function will be 1 plus 4kc by s plus 1, s plus 2 and s plus 3, which is equal to 0. Now from this, if I am rearranging s plus 1 into s plus 2, s plus 3 will be equal to minus 4kc. Differentiating with respect to s, then dk by ds will be 0. Then the differentiation of this will be s plus 1 into s plus 2, d by ds of s plus 3 will be 1, plus similarly it will be s plus 1, s plus 3 plus s plus 2 into s plus 3, which is equal to 0. Again simplifying it, s square plus 3s plus 2 plus s square plus 4s plus 3 plus s square plus 5s plus 6 will be equal to 0. By adding all the equal coefficient terms, I will get 3s square plus 12s plus 11 is equal to 0, where the roots after finding will be minus 1.42 and minus 2.57. From here you need to differentiate which is my breakaway point, and it is very simple. The root which is minus 1.42, that lies between the two poles. So this is my breakaway point, and the minus 2.7, which is not a part of my loci, then it is not a breakaway point. Now I got my breakaway point here, and I got a centroid and asymptote angle. If I'm picturizing it here, my centroid is minus 2, and if I draw from here my asymptote with an angle 60, and this is an asymptote with an angle 360 degrees, minus 60 degrees, and one more asymptote minus 180. This is the third asymptote angle, minus 180, sorry, plus 180 degrees. The poles, I told you k equal to 0, and this is equal to 0, this is equal to 0. Now if you remember the second point which I discussed in the rules, that root loci originates from poles, that is k equal to 0, and terminates at zeros, k equal to infinity. Now my first root loci that originates from 0 and tends towards 0, that my root loci originate from poles and tends towards infinity. This is my first root loci, and I got a breakaway point 1.42. Somewhere it will be here. From here I will draw the root loci heading towards infinity with respect to asymptote. It will be in this manner. Where from k equal to 0, my root loci is originating and terminating at k equal to infinity 0. This is a virtual 0. And here also if you see in this way, from k equal to 0, my third root loci originates and ends at k equal to infinity. This is how you need to draw the root loci diagram. Here the total number of root loci will be 1, 2 and 3. Total 3 root loci we have formed. Number of root loci will be n, that is number of poles that you got as 3, and you can see a number of 3, total you got 3 root loci. Now coming to the step 5, where we need to find the angle of departure or angle of arrival. Now there is no complex pole or 0, then there won't be any angle of departure or angle of arrival. Now the sixth step will be to find the point of intersection of root loci with imaginary axis. Root loci with imaginary axis. See, here it is touching. I need to find this point. How I can find? By using a Routh's criteria method. Let me take this Routh's criteria method. Before that I need to find this algebraic equation in terms of s power n coefficients. So my characteristic equation will be 1 plus 4kc by s plus 1 into s plus 2 into s plus 3 is equal to 0. Then s plus 1 into s plus s square plus 5s plus 6 plus 4kc is equal to 0. Further rearranging it, I can find s cube plus 6s square plus 11s plus 6 plus 4kc is equal to 0. Now I will find this using Routh's criterion: s cube, s square, s and s power 0. The first term I will write here 1, this will be my 6, this is 11 and 6 plus 4kc, 0, 0. Then 11 into 6, 66 minus 1 into 6 plus 4kc, 6 minus 4kc by 6, which will be 60 minus 4 kc by 6, and this term will be 0 because 0 into 6 minus 0 into 1 by 6 will be 0, and this point will be 6 plus 4 kc into this value minus 6 into 0 divided by this value, which will give 6 plus 4 kc. Now to find the point of intersection of this imaginary axis with root loci, that means at verge of stability, what I told you at verge of stability, this will be equal to 0. That means 60 minus 4 kc by 6 is equal to 0, where my kc will be 15. That is the maximum value of kc, ultimate value, where kc is equal to 15. At this point only it will touch the imaginary axis. Now for the value of kc 15, substituting it here, cs square plus d to find the roots, then c will be 6 s square plus 6 plus 4 kc is equal to 0. From this you can find the value of s, that is plus or minus root of 11i. That means plus or minus 3.316i. This will be my 3.316 and minus 3.316. This is the point of intersection between the root loci and imaginary axis. This will be my step 6. In this way you can complete the curve. I have just taken a rough diagram here. You can draw it in graph by taking the angle of asymptote at first from the centroid, then from the breakaway point you will get the actual curve tending towards asymptote at infinity. This will be my root loci, one branch, and this is my second branch, and this is my third branch. From kc equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 till 15 it is stable, and after my kc value is going beyond kc, it is getting in the right side of my imaginary axis, which will be unstable. This region is unstable, this region is stable. So from here I can tell that from the value of kc 0 to 15 stable, and it is crossing beyond this axis towards the right side plane, which is my unstable region, kc greater than 15. And if it is kc equal to 15, then I can call it as verge of stability. Now let me take a second example, somewhat complex compared to the first example, that my open loop transfer function is given as kc by s into s square plus 4s plus 13. Then my poles will be s is equal to 0 and s square plus 4s plus 13 is equal to 0, which means minus 4 plus or minus root of b square 16 minus 4ac 4 into 13 divided by 2a, which will be minus 2 plus or minus 3a. These are my poles, 0, minus 2 plus 3a and minus 2 minus 3a. My zeros are nil here, and I completed my first step. Now my second step is to identify root loci in real axis. That I will show you. Then coming to the third step, I need to find the angle of asymptote. That will be 180 into 2q plus 1 by n minus m, where q is equal to 0, 1 and 2. 180 by 3 into 2q plus 1, which will be 60 into 2q plus 1. If I substitute q equal to 0, then my asymptote angle is 60 degrees. For 1 it is 180 degrees, and for 2 my asymptote angle will be 300 degrees. Now for step 4, I need to find the breakaway or break-in point, that is dk by ds is equal to 0. My characteristic equation is 1 plus open loop transfer function, which is kc by s into s square plus 4s plus 13 is equal to 0. then s into s square plus 4s plus 13 plus kc is equal to 0. Differentiating with respect to s, then I can find kc is equal to minus of s cube plus 4s square plus 13s. Now I will differentiate. dk by ds is equal to minus of 3s square plus 8s plus 13, which is equal to 0. From here my roots will be minus b plus or minus root of b square, that is 64 minus 4ac, 12 into 13 divided by 2a, that is 6, which will be minus 1.33 plus or minus 1.6i. Now substituting this s value, whatever root I got in this open loop transfer function, which will be 1 plus kc by minus 1.33 plus or minus 1.6i. Let me take first as plus, then s square, you substitute s and plus 13. Now from the whole equation you can see that k is not real and positive function, which is having an imaginary values if you simplify it, which means there is no breakaway or break-in point, because the kc, the controller gain, is always tending from 0 to infinity, a real value. It won't be in terms of an imaginary value. No breakaway and break-in point here. Now coming to my fifth step, that is angle of departure and angle of arrival. These two I need to find. Let me draw a root loci diagram with real axis and an imaginary axis. Now I will draw my poles. I will locate s is equal to 0, then minus 2 plus 3i, that will be, we take it as 3 minus 3 minus 2. Then this will be my second pole, this will be my third pole. Next thing, I need to identify root locus in my real axis. If I take a test point here, then I can see only one pole towards the right side, which is an odd number. So this complete plane from 0 to infinity will come under root loci. As there is no breakaway or break-in point, then this is my value, that kc is ranging from 0 to infinity. This is one root loci. Then I need to draw the angles 60, 180 and 300 asymptotes from the centroid. Now here I need to find the centroid, that sigma is equal to the total sum of poles 0 minus 2 plus 3i minus 2 minus 3i minus the sum of zeros divided by n minus m, that will be 3, which is equal to minus 4 by 3, that is minus 1.33. My centroid will lie somewhere here, minus 1.33. From here I will draw my asymptote angles 60 degrees, and this is my minus 60 degrees. kc here is 0, kc here is 0 and kc here is 0. Now the fourth step, where I got a no breakaway or break-in point, so I now need to show it in this graphical representation. Now coming to the angle of departure, there won't be any angle of arrival because there are no complex zeros, there are only complex poles. This angle of departure, as I told you, that is 180 minus sum of angles of poles plus sum of angles of zeros. There are no zeros here, it will be 0. Now I need to find the sum of angles of pole. Let me take for the angle of departure for this pole considering, then I need to find the sum of angle from the poles. This is my first and this is my second angle. let me take this as theta 2, this as theta 1. Then my theta 1, which is equal to 180 minus tan inverse of this height will be 3 and this x-axis will be 2, which means 3 by 2. Theta 1 is equal to 123.7. Now my theta 2 is equal to 90 degrees. Then my angle of departure will be 180 minus 123.7 minus 90, which is equal to minus 33.7 for the pole 1. And similarly, if you find for the pole 2, which is symmetric towards the pole 1, then the angle of departure will be plus 33.7. Now let me draw an angle of departure with 33.7 angle. And this root loci tends towards asymptote at infinity. And here also, if I take a positive 33.7 with an angle of departure, then my pole that is originating from 0, it heads towards the asymptote till the infinity, that kc is equal to infinity here and kc equal to infinity. This will be my second root loci. You need to show the direction from k0 to infinity, and this will be my third root loci. As I told you, the total number of root loci is number of poles, which is 3. Now we got total 3 root loci. This is how you can show the graphical representation, and for different values of kc you can find the characteristic roots from the root locus diagram. If you like my video, subscribe to my channel to get more updates from my channel.